Hello everyone, this is Mr. Informal giving you the latest and greatest Mr. Informal podcast. So, again, I go by the name of Mr. Informal. Hope you are doing well today. I hope you are healthy. And certainly, I hope you are enjoying your day, your night, wherever you are in the world. So, with me, I'm doing great. Just please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and then check out my website, mrinformal.com, MRINFORMAL.com. So, these are the 4 topics for the 172 of the Mr. Informal podcast. Topic number 1. Factory lockdown, especially in Vietnam. Vietnam is going through a lot of closure and also lockdown, and certainly that will affect a lot of your goods come this Christmas. Yes, it's not over. Number 2, Valentino vaccine. Yes, the haute couture Valentino. Number 3, Apple Wallet has a feature now in their options. And then last but not least is these mandate. How are these mandate affecting you and just the world or the economy around us, especially in companies hiring? And so those are the 4 topics for this Mr. Informal podcast 172. And so let's go ahead and start the podcast. So, the article is from retail.com. Vietnam closure push retailers to shift tactics suppliers ahead of holidays. Brands and retailers are shifting their purchase orders, locations, and financial outlooks after outbreaks of the coronavirus led to extended lockdowns in Vietnam. Companies including Abercrombie & Fitch, Big Lots, Chico's, Cub, designer brands, and Lands' End expected a financial hit, according to earnings calls in SEC filing. Stay-home orders are in place across Vietnam, including manufacturing areas, while authorities began shifting restrictions in some areas last week. Reuters report lockdown in Ho Chi Minh City were extended until the end of the month. Now, if you're not a history major or specialist, the name Ho Chi Minh, it was previously called Saigon, especially if you know about the 1970s American history. So, what does this mean by having lockdowns in Vietnam, especially at a crucial moment where every company out there is preparing for the Christmas shopping? Well, certainly it's going to be a loss of stock, a loss of potential sales, and certainly a big problem in terms of inventory. And a lot of companies will lose sales because of this, because at this August, September are the 2 major months that companies will order Christmas items, whether it be the gifts, electronics, toys, clothes, shoes. If it's made in Vietnam, certainly any type of goods will be affected. Now, I'm not going to say every goods out there, and I'm pretty sure not every factory in Vietnam is closed, but it seems like this one is, for the most part, most of the big factories will be closed. So it is an absolute problem. So what are the companies doing? Well, they're already letting you know that, hey, we're gonna have a problem, especially in the SEC filing that on their board members stating that, hey, we're not gonna meet our sales forecast because of Vietnam closing, and we're scrambling trying to find factories, whether it be in Bangladesh, India, China, Malaysia, Thailand, wherever. So I'm pretty sure Vietnam is not the only problem. Maybe the surrounding countries such as Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, even maybe Malaysia, especially China, as you know, are going to be a problem. So basically, designer. Here's an example from the paragraph. Designer brand CFO Jared Pop said its Kamuto footwear segment had already seen $7 million in orders be delayed into Q3 due to increased demand with limited factory capacity during peak season, rolling blackouts, coronavirus issues, and labor shortages. So, as you can tell, it is a big problem. Now, the only ways that these companies are probably doing is letting you know as a board member, whatever it may be, or basically moving their goods out of the factory, but it's already too late by now. Absolutely too late. They're not gonna meet their Christmas sales or Christmas stock. I mean, once you're past September, it's over. It's very, very hard to get goods on time. Most of the Christmas items should already be landing in the US or arriving in the US by late October or beginning of November. That's how it should be. Topic number 2 from hypebeast.com. Valentino promotes coronavirus vaccination with vaccinated hoodies in partnership with UNICEF. Valentino and UNICEF Global Coronavirus Program have teamed up to deliver a hoodie that promotes global vaccination against coronavirus. So this is their response. Valentino's creative director Paolo Pacioli shared his excitement of the collaboration in a statement. Getting vaccinated has some of the become most effective way to fight this global pandemic, as well as a symbol of respect for other social responsibility. One cannot hide behind the concept of freedom by deciding not to get vaccinated. A freedom must always be protected, and we must all fight for freedom, but respecting others. Okay? The freedom to be ourselves, the freedom of thought, the freedom of love, the freedom to express and fight for our own ideas. Unfortunately, not all countries have equal access to coronavirus vaccine. This collaboration, Valentino support UNICEF's in delivery efforts, life-saving coronavirus vaccine. Okay, so much to talk about right there. So basically, they made a black hoodie that says V as their logo. Imagine this V in red, color red outline that is screen printed on front of the hoodie. V, and then under that is vaccinated. The word vaccinated is all spelled out in the color red. It looks like it's in Times New Roman font, or it could not be. So he says one cannot hide behind the concept of freedom by deciding to not get vaccinated. Freedom must always be protected. We must all fight for freedom, but respecting others. The freedom to be ourselves, the freedom of thought, the freedom of love, the freedom to express and fight for our own ideas. Okay, I don't get it. So you said one cannot hide behind the concept of freedom by not deciding to get vaccinated. And yet here you are, Mr. Piccioli. The freedom to express and fight for our own ideas. Aren't you contradicting yourselves here? In any case, I'm not a fan of this. You see, politics and fashion have always been there. Whether it be in screen prints, whether it be in design, whether it be in the runway, whether it be in art form, whether it be your own outfit. Politics has always been there because it's an expression. Clothes is also an expression of art, expression of individualism. And so this hoodie is something I'm not a fan of. By you wearing this vaccinated, you're basically saying, okay, I want everyone to get vaccinated, even though the FDA only made an emergency approval of the vaccination, even though normally it takes 3 years for something like this to be approved in terms of vaccines in the normal way. And so by also doing this, it shows which side you are on, Valentino. Again, it's something I don't understand. It's a freedom of expression and freedom to fight our own ideas, which you say in the statement. I'm paraphrasing here, and yet it's contradictory. It just doesn't make absolute sense. You see, sometimes you people like this need to have a PR person to check whether it makes sense or not. But I don't think he had a PR person check this, because if they did, the wording in that statement would not be like that. So he's probably gonna go back and check himself to make sure that next time he doesn't say statements that is contradictory of that. And I don't understand, why now, Valentino? Why not earlier this year? Why now? Is it because you're losing sales? Is it because Valentino is not the way it used to be in terms of popularity or brand recognition? Don't get me wrong. I mean, Valentino is still is up there in terms of brand recognition, but in terms of the new generation, I think people still gravitate towards Gucci, Fendi, Prada, or even Louis Vuitton and Chanel. But Valentino is not being mentioned as much. I mean, would that be it? I don't know. But this is creating a divide, and I don't think this is a good PR move by putting it out there or creating a hoodie that says vaccinated. But hey, I mean, it's their company. Me personally, I'm not a fan of it. And so we'll see how people respond to this. Could it be good? Could be bad. On to topic number 3, Apple Wallet. So article from hypebae.com titled, "You can soon add your coronavirus vaccine card to your Apple Wallet." Following the new iOS 15, Apple has announced the user will be able to add their coronavirus vaccine cards to the Apple Wallet in the upcoming update. The current feature allows you to store verifiable coronavirus vaccination or test results records in the Health app. You can also share your health data with other parties like your family or caregiver in case of emergency. Wow. Walking steadiness has been added as well, which is a new metric that encourages you to proactively manage your fall risk. So, I'm not a fan of this due to the privacy concerns. Not only that, if you haven't read the news in terms of the tech sector, Apple was hacked. And so this is dangerous ground. And look, you see, I've never been a fan of this vaccination passport, vaccination card, vaccination paper, vaccination pass, whatever you want to call it. You see, our medical records, anytime it is given to our doctors is always confidential. Our records with our doctors always confidential no matter what. But by doing this, you as a person is giving up that privacy. You are giving up that confidentiality. I'm not a fan of this. I mean, seriously, what is this for again? I mean, is this how we live for now? Is that we keep everything confidential in our phone? I mean, that's what it's looking like, basically. I mean, our precious moments, even our social security is going to be in our phone now? Seriously? Our bank accounts? Basically it. I mean, we are banking apps. I mean, I don't even have banking apps on my phone. Screw that. So, will Google follow in terms of Android? I'm pretty sure they will. You know, if this catches on, they're probably going to do it. Google's probably going to say it. Probably Facebook will also have it. Don't be surprised. As usual, people be posting their vaccination card in Facebook per photo. Whatever it may be, whatever makes them happy. So, there's just another option in the upcoming updates now. Now, my concern about this is that, is everyone going to do this? I don't think so. I think maybe those who like to keep their records on their phone. There are people like that who keep everything, I mean everything in their phone. It's like their phone is their life. And if they lose their phone, it's almost as if their life is over. or their life is temporarily over. And so this will be coming up, and so don't be surprised if you start seeing this. Not only that, if you actually have people screenshot this on their Twitter, on their Instagram, whatever it may be. But by doing this, you have to remember you are giving up the confidentiality, your privacy, and your security. Don't be surprised if people get judged over this, and don't be surprised if your phone gets hacked or if your data gets breached. Because again, me personally, I'm not a fan of this because of what technology can do. Not only that, there's a lot of hackers that hack on people's phone and people's records every day. So, last topic, I'm sure you've seen this from the news, from social media outlets, is that vaccine mandates. But I'm gonna talk about vaccine mandates in regards to hiring. As you know, we have a labor shortage. Not everyone's getting back to work. People have also changed their course of their life, changing their careers, and so with this vaccine mandate, many or half of employers out there wants their new employees to get vaccinated. If not, you will get fired, you will get terminated, or you will not be hired. Here's the problem with that. If the half of the population do not get vaccine, that means that we are still going to have labor shortages until the end of the year or even until 2022. This is a big problem as labor shortages is already happening. Not only that, they cannot keep up with the customers' order on time because of labor shortages. Now, I'm gonna put this on employers, because by doing this, you are limiting your hiring pool. You are limiting your candidates. Not only that, if the vaccine is actually mandated, how about you mandate your maybe 401k, your employee benefits? How about you make it better? These employers don't seem to realize that no matter how much you raise your minimum wage, your hourly salary, if your benefits is not there, if your benefits is not good enough, these employees who were burned before are not going to accept that. They're going to a different career. They're going to go apply for some other companies who they think provide better care for them. See, a lot of these employees are just hypocrites. They want to talk about everything vaccine mandated, and yet your workplace is terrible. Your culture is terrible. I mean, before you even talk about me getting a vaccination, how about you provide better employee care, you provide better culture, you provide better foundation, you provide better support for your employees. Let's not talk about mandate. Let's not talk about employee loyalty. How about we actually talk about what's been going on even before the coronavirus, such as employees being taken care of? How about employers being loyal to their employees? Can we do that? Just like, the last 3 topics we've been talking about this vaccination, but it's just sickening what's happening to the world, especially in the labor market, where companies are trying to hire people, having a hiring bonus, having to increase the salary, and yet they want you to be vaccinated, and then at the same time they don't want to improve the work culture. They don't want to work the work environment, the working conditions, the ethics. I mean, if you're gonna do this, you want us all to be safe in terms of the virus. How about you also make us safe to be working in terms of the working condition, clean? How about everything has to be sanitized. Can we do that? How about the boss actually comes down and see what's going on, actually works, instead of just sitting around and getting a Christmas bonus or getting a raise on his own. And so there's so many things to talk about this topic, but I can go on a tangent here, but it's sickening what's happening in the world in terms of the labor market. And so that basically concludes this Mr. Informal Podcast 172. I hope you listened to me from beginning to end, and if you did, I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully I gave you some insights and also great news in the world of whatever you want to call it. And so please do not forget to add me on Instagram, MISTERINFORMAL, and then check out my website, mrinformal.com, mrinformal.com. And so, again, thank you for listening. I will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.